Hey y'all, it is I, Anthony the Canadian Guy, and welcome to WrestleSode. Boy, do I have a treat for all of you here today. We're going to be talking with the PWG Mayhem champion, Reid Matthews. That's right, The Thickness as he is known. I've known The Thickness now for a few years. He's a really great guy, an incredible wrestler, a great talker, and one of the guys who always stands out in the scene. Like when you see him wrestle, he's always a great standout, and this was a really fun chat. Now, this is the second time I've gotten to do an interview with The Thickness. The very first time I ever interviewed him, I actually got to interview him like right over there. He's the only person I've ever interviewed live here right in the studio. I'm sure that will change again here one of these days, but for right now, that was the only one. But today we got to talk with him once again to see what he's been up to. Now, Reid Matthews is one of the only people who have wrestled in the Dome twice now for the PWG. He has won all the matches that he has been, and he's done a fantastic job, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that here today. Now, if you are watching this today, May 10th, tonight live over on twitch.tv/Jupiter Vision at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, we will be talking with the RCW Women's Champion Ava Lawless. Now, that's also going to be a really fun chat. I've been looking forward to that one for a few years now, so we're going to be doing that here tonight. So if you guys are going to be watching that and you want to tune in live, go check that out, twitch.tv/Jupiter Vision. But enough about that. Today, here over on YouTube, we are interviewing The Thickness, Reid Matthews, and I can't wait to hear from him. But before we get into that, if you guys like, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button down below. Leave a comment about who you would love to see interviewed here on WrestleSode. I'd love to do that. Anyways, let's get straight into it with our interview with The Thickness. Man, I'm so happy to be chatting with you again. Like I told you just before we started here, it's been way too long since we last chatted. I'm just gonna adjust you off to the left here. There we go. Since we last chatted, honestly, life has been kind of hectic. We a lot of stuff kind of happened since our last chat. We kind of just had it was like just before my dad died, and the world pretty much shut down because of COVID. So lots of stuff has happened since our last chat. But one thing that has remained, and one thing I am proud to say, we still have our PWA Mayhem champion, pandemic, life, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We got the champ still.
It's a little busted, but it's still here.
It's part of the aesthetic. It's the love of the Mayhem Championship. But dude, how have you been? Let's just talk.
I've been good. Like this last week's been a little busy with the Dome show and everything, but like it's been good. It's been nice to kind of get back into things.
Yeah, you definitely. I saw a lot of the publicity. I liked a lot of your little the little skits that they were doing and like the little interviews prior to the show. How many times did you have to go to the Dome last week?
So I was at the Dome twice. So they called us for a press conference, which was the first one I ever went to. And funny enough, so we went there. It was myself, Duke Durango, and Gigi Ray. Mm-hmm. And here I'm like, I've never been to a press conference. It's like still kind of restrictions, COVID. I'm like, there's gonna be like 10 people and a couple cameras. And I walk in and I go on stage, and there's got to be 30 people in that room. And oh man, did the nerves kick in right there? But so we were there, we did the press conference, and then after the press conference, we were allowed to go around and cut a promo in the arena. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go to the Zamboni Bay, because that's for the people who haven't been to the show. We enter through the Zamboni Bay. So I thought that'd be a kind of cool little thing there where you can kind of see the ice behind me. And then they invited us to actually one of the Calgary Hitmen's hockey games, the Sunday. So not last Sunday, the one before.
Right.
And I got to cut a promo live during the game, which was really cool. But yeah, we worked with Rob and Amy with the Calgary Hitmen, and they were awesome to work with. And then I would totally want to work with them again, because they were super easy to work with. They gave us like lots of cool opportunities. So,
dude, I'm so happy. You know how often people could be like, yeah, I just got to go to a press conference and just go hang out at the Saddledome and just, cut it, whatever. It's just fine. Like, that's so awesome, man. Like, talk about like living a moment. And this is the second time you've got to do this too.
Yeah, unfortunately, the first time I wasn't able to go to the press conference, or I don't think they had a hockey game we could go to either.
No.
But like this time, like this is like the first time I felt like a VIP. Like after the hockey game, it was Tisha and I, and they're like, "Do you guys want to go out the back door?" And I'm like, "Yes."
You're just like, oh, we can do that?
Snuck out the back. We're getting snuck out the back. This is crazy.
When you first walk out,
we were in the owner's suite too, which was really cool.
You guys get to go into the owner's suite.
Yeah.
Dude, that's VIP. When you get to walk out, I was going to say, like, when you get to walk outside from the back for the very first time in any arena, because I've got to do it at the Saddledome once before because of just, like, having to go through for, like, conventions and stuff. I walked out into the back and I was like, this area it doesn't feel real to me. Like it's just like the back, right? There's just like a big bay, lots of trucks and cars move through there. There's like some garbage bins, but you still feel so VIP when you're back there, right?
Yeah, it's almost funny because it's like both dome shows. We've seen the Calgary Hitmen and their opposing teams leave, so it's like you just have us like warming up in the back, and then you have like these full teams of guys dressed in like full on suits, and I'm sitting there wearing a King of Thick style T-shirt
Well, that makes two of
with
us.
cut sleeves.
But hey, that's gonna be. Did you get to meet any of them when they were leaving, or did you get to be like, hey?
So funny enough, after my match, I was walking around and chatting with some people, and some of them were leaving. And actually, one called out to me. He was like, "Thickness!" I'm like, "Yeah," because they have a busy schedule, so like they'll stay if they can, but otherwise they have to get going. So
Right.
It's really cool to have them stick around. But to have one call out my name in the back was really cool.
That's so cool, man. And how was it like? You got to wrestle Sheik Akbar Shabazz. I mean, you've had a few matches against him, and not obviously in the last couple of years. But like, did it feel like natural getting in the ring with him once again? Like, because it's been a while, I think, as far as it is since you like stepped in the ring in like a competitive style kind of thing. Because you did a little bit for RCW. You did the Southern Alberta Invitational for us. But besides that, have you been wrestling other places?
I did a clandestine show.
That's right, and
I don't
clandestine.
remember. That was like a year ago almost. So yeah, it's been like a year since I've been in the ring. But no, Shiki Baby is awesome. He was my actual first match when I joined PWA. So like getting in the ring with him was super easy, and it was a lot of fun. And I'd definitely do it again.
Do you want to talk a little bit about like what happened in the match? Now you got to remember, I didn't get to go. I'm the horrible friend that I wasn't there, but I had my out of town plans. But what happened in the match? What did I miss? It was obviously I ruined it.
We had a tables match. I put Shiki through the table, so I retained my championship. But man, it was crazy. So like it's been a weird experience at the Dome, because like the normal wrestling shows, like I get a little nervous, and then you go through the curtain and everything's fine. But like the entire time for both Dome shows, I'm just constantly on a high. I'm just like raring to go 24/7. There's no nerves, there's no anxiousness, nothing. I'm just raring to go. So they start up. We were first, and Sheik goes out first, and he wore an Edmonton Oil Kings jersey, and as soon as he walked out, all you just hear is the crowd going boo, like loud, like super loud. And I'm back there, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good.
So for like
go ahead.
I was gonna be like, compared to the first show, like did it feel extra loud in this one? Because I remember the first one we were all split to the one side. Was that what it was like in this as well?
Yeah, it was the same thing. It's just I think they do it that way just because it's easier for ring movement to
Right.
have it set up at the one end rather than drag it all the way to the middle of the
Oh,
ice.
what a pain that would be. It's not to slide everywhere.
We were nice. We were lucky this time because we actually have Lance Storm's old ring.
Yeah.
We don't have what we call the red ring, which was a really crappy ring for anyone's ever actually bumped in it. So it was really nice to work in. But no, it's the first one. I think the first one was a little different because I was in a battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
So you have multiple different personalities in the ring, and then I came out. Whereas like this one, it was like a one-on-one. So I think the crowd really got the full grasp of, Sheik is the heel, I am the babyface. We're gonna fight. It's good versus bad type deal. Whereas like in the battle royal, it's like you'll have your favorites, and you don't want your favorites to lose, but at the same time, it's like everyone needs their chance to shine. But at the same time, they got to get out of the ring.
Oh, absolutely. But so they were hot though. They were a nice crowd. It was a good crowd.
They were hot. They were so. I for once I milked my entrance because I wanted to soak it all in. Like you're just sitting there and it's like people pretty much from both sides all the way to the front. There's just people everywhere cheering and yelling, and it's just absolutely something you feel like you never get to witness enough. And being first is like we were hot because they've been raring to go. A bunch of people came to the meet and greets between periods, so like they were stoked, and like just to sit there and soak it all in, and it's like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a really good show, and it was an awesome show.
That's awesome. So how many matches were there total at this show? Was it another 4 matches?
It was 5.
Five
so
matches.
There was my match, which was a tables match.
Mhm.
There was a 8-man elimination match. There was, was it 10? I'm counting the people though. I only count 8. Because you had Kenneth Stryker, you had Jack Pride, Gabriel Lestat, and Mars the Specialist against Sean Moore, Cutthroat Colton Kelly, Birat Gorani, and I don't remember what they called the Oil King guy. So yeah, it was. I think originally it was going to be a 5-on-5, but I think it just turned into a 4 versus 4. And then after that, it was a surprise Andy Anderson versus Chris Steele match for the PWA Heavyweight Championship. Then it was the Fatal 4-Way Girls match with Abel Lawless, Taryn from Accounting, Gigi Ray, and Zoe Sager. And then the main event was Michael Richard Blaze versus Kid Chocolate Mojabari.
Oof. That sounds like a really great card, honestly.
It really was. Like it was just. I remember when they told me the card. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a great show. Because like I've seen lots of these. Oh no, you're right. It was 5 because I'm totally forgetting Stephen Crow. Stephen Crow and who was on the other side? Oh man, I'm missing somebody.
Someone's gonna hate you.
Duke Durango.
There it is.
I can't believe I forgot Duke
Durango. Oh, you forgot
Duke. If he hears that, he might get mad at me.
Oh, we'll cut that right there. This won't go on. Be immortalized
so it
online.
was a 5v5.
There you go.
No,
well, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, it's like a lot of the guys and girls have been training their butts off through quarantine, and it's really showed, and it's really paid off.
That's awesome. Well, I'm really glad it all worked out for you there because you got, like I said, you got to retain. You are still the PWA Mayhem champion. But let's pull it back a little bit here because since our last chat, literally the last time I got to see you in the ring was February of 2020. And it's now March of 2022. So it's like the worst thing in the world. I haven't seen you. Well, that's not true. I saw you in the ring personally at the Southern Alberta Invitational. But I meant like in a full show kind of capacity where there's actually people there. So, But life changed dramatically for a lot of people. So you've went to school. Let's talk a little bit about that. So COVID happened. Did you decide like, hey, I want to go to school now? Were you already going to school at the time? Like, how did that come about?
So it's funny looking back at what happened through COVID because it's like I'm pretty sure for the first year I did nothing. Like I did a little bit of training when it came to like the Southern Alberta Invitational show for you and there was some clandestine things that were going to happen, but then they got shut down. So like I was just training.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kind of came to a point where it was just like, I don't really want to go back to the day jobs I have. I'm not enjoying them, and I'm a guy who likes to enjoy what he does. Like I'll get it. I need a job because I got to pay bills.
Yeah.
But like I'd rather do something I enjoy. So while like wrestling has to be kind of silent at the moment, I'll go back to school and try and get a better education, get a better job. And especially when it comes to the fact that through this better education and a better job, I'll actually have more time to wrestle because I'm not working these retail jobs or jobs that require me to come in on a weekend.
Well, what did you end up going to school for if you're willing to tell people? Like, what is the thickness studying?
So the thickness is studying to become a architectural technologist.
So for us laymen, what is that?
Essentially, this is the way I've always put it, and teachers have put it this way as well. Essentially, an architect draws on a napkin and hands it to me, and then I have to make it come to life.
Okay, so you're the person who like puts it into like the programs. You're the one who would like build it for an architect, or you like doing the drafts and stuff.
Yeah, I'm checking code and whatnot, make sure it can actually be built and stuff like that.
See, I have no idea. I'm the worst person in the world with a hammer. You saw how I redeveloped my basement. You were like the one person who WrestleSode has actually interviewed in person here. You saw the crap I tried to do. I was like, that's the best I can do in here. So you're like...
Well, it also helped. Like, I've been involved in construction for like a while, almost like the last 8 years of my life. So I was like, rather than being on the physical end, I'll try the other side.
So how long is this school? How long is like your program? Like, how long do you go for?
It's 2 semesters.
2 semesters. Wow. Okay. So that's like
2 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, not semesters. 2 years.
I was gonna be like, that's pretty quick, right? That's just a year, isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
So when does that end then? Exactly. So are you looking like towards the end of 2023 or?
No, the end of this year.
The end of this year. Oh, so you've already been hitting it up for 2 years.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah. So I started that within quarantine, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying it, but definitely trying to balance it in wrestling has been a struggle for the last couple of weeks.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, you're going to school. You're having to do like an actual. Are you working full time right now as well?
Yes.
Yeah. So you're working full time, going to school, training to be a wrestler, and of course, you got a personal life as well, right? Like it's
Mhm.
hard to balance all of those things. So like, how do you keep yourself sane? Like, what are you doing to stay sane?
So another thing that I started during quarantine was streaming myself.
Hmm.
Just like you stream, I stream as well. It's been a lot of fun. I love streaming. I wish I could stream more. I wish I could do more with it, but just my time constraints don't allow me to do that. Um, so I do that every week, which kind of helps. Uh, Pretty much any time I get downtime, Tisha and I are hanging out with each other, just because like I know a lot of it takes me away from her,
Hmm.
and it's nice to kind of just relax with her.
So with regards to going back to school, so like you said you're finishing up this year. You're looking forward to getting a new job because, like you said, you won't have to be working all the time. You can get your weekends off. You can do more wrestling. Is the goal still to be like? Do you really still want to just be the wrestler, or are you looking at that still? It's kind of like I love wrestling here. I'll do it for as long as I can, but it's nice to have that be an architectural technologist on this as my life kind of thing. I know it's kind of hard when I ask that question because it's like this down depressing thing if you say no, I have to be a technologist, or you know what I mean. I don't want to be a
No,
wrestler.
I think about how a lot of like WWE wrestlers when they first join developmental,
Mhm.
they get to learn how to like handle their money and whatnot, and a lot of wrestlers actually have like backgrounds and stuff, like which is like a Britt Baker. Britt Baker's a dentist,
Right.
like 6 days a week, and she's a wrestler 1 day a week, right? So I see it as like I want to wrestle because I love wrestling. Like this last weekend, like definitely was brought back like, oh, I wish I could wrestle some more and do more wrestling and train all the time. Um, but at the same time, I know like right now I do need a job that actually pays my bills a little better. You know, if Tisha and I want to, do some things on our own, I need spending money for that. So doing something else where I also do I love designing and building houses. So being able to do that is it's kind of like I'm aiming for the stars, but I also have a safety net.
I like the way you said that. I actually have a huge question to ask now. Like, do you have like your own blueprint of like your dream home that you would love to build? Like, I mean, I don't know if you're necessarily in the architect space where you're like, this room has got to be this and this is going to be perfect and there's like a line here, or if you're more just interested in like the technology side of things. Or are you designing your own dream home? We need to know.
No, I have not.
No.
Funny enough, I remember when I first started, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to do this. But like most of my time just is spent with my school projects, so I really don't have a whole lot of downtime to plan anything else.
Is that something that you want to do in the future? Is eventually use your
Oh,
skills?
entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, entirely. I want to plan my dream home. Like I want a wrestling ring in my dream home. I gotta build a house with that in mind, right?
Can you, but I guess studying what you're studying, you could figure out how to do that kind of stuff. You could be like, I know how to apply this.
Exactly.
Man, I'm quite envious of that. That's actually seems like quite a useful skill compared to like me, who's like, I can design and plan video games, and my information's all obsolete now though because it's over 10 years ago. Technology changes so fast. Yours is something that sounds awesome. You'd be useful for things.
Yours is awesome and useful for things too. You just gotta brush back into it. I'm sure it'd be like riding a bike.
Yeah, well, I mean, technology is it moves quite fast, but I'm sure the design elements and everything, I could still figure that stuff out. I'm sure I could figure it out. But as you know, we've got plans. This is going to be a fun and busy year. Things have started to change, obviously, with the restrictions slowly starting to disappear and the world slowly starting to open up again. It's a little too fast, in my opinion, still, but it's happened, and wrestling shows are happening again. So I know you said you're not really looking at like too much right now because you're super busy, but like opportunity arises, like you want to get in the ring. Are we going to be seeing more Reid Matthews this year?
Oh, definitely. You'll definitely see me definitely more often than you saw me last year.
Fair. Yeah, these last 2 years, it's been a little bit hard to see anybody, but yeah, you're open to all the different opportunities and stuff that you'll be seeing this year. Like if anybody comes knocking.
Yeah, like I probably won't be doing like weekly shows or anything like that for a while, but like if a good show comes up, I'll definitely jump on.
And I think I asked this, but you said PWA isn't officially running consistently again at this point, right? They did the Battle at the Dome
No,
show, but they didn't
not that I
announce
know of.
another show moving forward, correct?
No,
No. Okay.
not unless someone didn't tell me. But
Maybe somebody in chat can figure that out. We'll figure that out.
mhm.
But at least moving forward. So, like, we talked a little bit about this last time about the different kind of matches that you wanted to have across Alberta, and I know you had talked about, wanting to tag up again one of these days with like Colton Kelly. The world has changed so much in the last 2 years, and there's been so much different talent that has actually moved through Alberta. Just a bunch of new people that even I haven't had a chance to see in the ring yet. Have you had your eye open on the Alberta scene? Like, have you been keeping your eye open to the different talents that have been coming by?
No, I kind of yeah, kind of no. Like, because I've been to a few wrestling shows and whatnot. I did kind of keep my head down just because like I knew I would miss it, but I needed to stay focused on what I was doing with school and whatnot.
Mm.
But like just like coming out this past weekend, like we had Mars the Specialist, which I haven't seen before, but he was awesome to see in the ring. Um, Sean Moore again. Like I sometimes a tag team years ago, but definitely to wrestle Sean Moore again. I think just kind of like another one was heavy metal. I want to wrestle as well.
I
I
mean,
know
these are some dream
I've had
matches I
I've
see
had the
there.
opportunity to train with him a little bit, and it's been a lot of fun. So I think doing a match with him would be pretty hardcore.
Are you still
Um,
looking at wanting to do more like aggressive style matches? I know you said you're not necessarily in it for the death matches and stuff, but like to tell your stories and whatnot. You like to beat people up and you like to use weapons from time to time. Is that still what the thickness wants now? Or is it more like let's pull that back a little bit now?
um, you know what? It's funny enough. Like when we came into this weekend and we were planning this match, um, it was almost like it was almost like I never stopped. It was weird in a sense. Like I haven't planned a match or worked a match in over a year, but it's like, oh, a tables match. Okay, let's go right into it. Like I even went through the extra mile that I've normally done. I've even like looked up table matches in WWE just to kind of get some ideas and run them through. So I think I don't get me wrong. I love this title, but I would definitely like to try and do some other things as well. But I do love this title. I do love every match that I've done. I've done some really cool matches, and I'm very grateful for the people that I've gotten to wrestle, win those matches because of it. But I do want to branch out and do some other things.
Now, I got another quick question here for the Dome show. So this is more just like a logistics question, just because I'm personally curious. So you said you come out from the Zamboni area, but from back there, are you able to even watch the other matches really that are going on, or did you even get a sense to on some of the other matches, or are you kind of stuck behind the curtain at that point?
No, actually, the room that they had us in had a TV, and it was connected to whatever they were showing up on the jumbotrons,
So was
which
everybody
was
just
really
like
cool.
gathered around the TV just watching it? Was it like what was the atmosphere
Pretty
like?
much, Oh, it's awesome. I miss those guys and girls. It was a phenomenal locker room, and to be able to be in the locker room again with them was surreal. And it was great. Everyone's laughing. We're having a good time. Everyone loving the wrestling. It was almost like it was never gone.
It's so sad that it got taken away from us for those like 2 years. You know what I mean? But I'm so excited to see that it's back and things are happening. Like I even got back to my first show like 2 weeks ago. It was here in town, and I'm super excited for it to come back again. But we got to catch that next PWA one. Hopefully, we'll be seeing the thickness at it, and hopefully, we'll see one of those here pretty soon as well. Because I know personally, like I love PWA. I miss it. I miss it so
Yeah.
much.
No, I miss him too. I talked to Kurt Sorokin a few times just to see what he's got planned and whatnot.
So let's pull it back a little bit. So you said you stream a lot more now. Obviously, I'm a big fan of your stream. I've been following you since you started streaming. I love watching. But tell a little bit about what you do in terms of your stream. Like, what are you doing these days?
So I've come to the conclusion that I just want to stream when I want to play.
Hmm.
There was a point I was trying to stream things that were popular and whatnot, and I kind of like wasn't enjoying it, and I could tell that the stream wasn't as enjoyable.
Hmm.
So right now I'm playing the new Pokemon Legends Arceus game slowly because it's only once a week. But I just play the game and what I'll talk about other things. There was a while I was like reacting to some things that were happening in like the YouTube space and movie trailers and whatnot. So it's really just kind of just been like a creative outlook for me with wrestling not really being around.
Right. And that's something that you want to keep doing now that you've kind of found streaming. It's like you're hooked. Like it's something that you want to keep doing no matter what at this point.
Yeah, it was kind of like something I never thought I would enjoy as much as I do, in a sense. Like I've always wanted to play video games and make money off it, right? But like to actually go out there and create the content and have a good time with everybody is awesome. I love it, and that's why I wish I could do more.
Oh, I hear you, man. I mean, I think I speak for everybody that's like, we all want to see more thickness. We all want to see more Alberta wrestling. It's one of those things where it's just like, now that things are opening up, hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more of it. And hopefully things will be good for you, because obviously we can't have Alberta wrestling without the thickness, jumping around going, yes! And
Sure.
you know what I mean? It's something that, especially, we got to see that Blue Thunder bomb of yours, because man, is it so good. What did we end up calling that? We Down with the Thickness, right?
Down with the Thickness, yep.
What a great name, by the way. All right, but
I don't.
Oh,
Who
what?
came up with that name?
That was
you? Or
that was
was
me.
that was you?
That was me. We were talking about it before the Southern Alberta Invitation. We are like, well, we got to give this a name, and we're like, what about Down with the Thickness? You're like, yes.
That's good. That's good. I love it.
But just my own personal plug there. But that pretty much does it for this part of the thing. We're going to try to move into the Q&A section here. So I'm going to upload some of those here. So if you guys haven't asked him yet, go ahead and put the questions through. I'm going to take a 2-minute break while I collect those, because we are down our moderator for tonight. But come back 2 minutes. We'll start those Q&A. And don't go anywhere. And for those of you who are, who are subscribed, you'll just see us chat for 2 minutes about nothing. All right, be back. All right, let's see. I got to get these questions now. Twitch. All right. Dude, thank you again. This has been super smooth. I always love chatting with you.
Oh, I miss chatting with you, buddy.
Man, I know, right? It's always best when I get to chat with my friends and like the ones that I like chat with outside of this as well. It's like, oh, yeah, how you been? Where is my stuff?
You're pretty much just monetizing our conversations. That's all.
Yeah, right. Well, monetizing. I barely get much from this. It's more like, for now, it's just I want to keep this little piece of history. That's something I got to talk about. WrestleSo's going to be moving up to the Canadian Wrestling Archive side of things here. It's going to be really nice. We're going to get a lot more views there.
That's awesome.
Right? That channel got partnered like a week ago officially, so that channel's starting to make money, so that's going to be really awesome. Being able to actually put some nice content on there. All right. Okay, my questions are back up here, so I will ask those once we are back. How much time do we have left on this? I never get to see my thing. 2-minute ad. Does anybody know how much time is left? I'm not paying attention to things.
I don't have a timer over here. I just see that the actual time is 10:33.
We'll figure it out. It'll come back here in a second. Yeah, Shout went back to his actual place of work today. So I know I was talking to him earlier. He was super exhausted after work because he's like been working from home for such a long time. To go back to an office is going to be super exhausting for me too, I bet.
Yeah, sometimes I find it funny, like, because of the amount of places that probably saved money on like not having to run power and whatnot.
Right.
Buying all the little things for the employees is like, man, you gotta work from home more often.
I don't want to go back to work. I want to keep working from home, especially now the gas prices are what they are because of all the different sanctions and everything, right? So gas prices. So I don't want to drive 45 minutes to work and back every day. I'd rather just stay here, I work right there. Anyway, I think we're back from our our chat now. All right, first question. Thank you. This one comes from Mike the Ref, 21 minutes ago. How did it feel sliding down the ice at the Saddledome like a bowling ball?
So funny enough, we were talking about this spot, and like I played hockey when I was younger, so like I had a fairly good idea like what trying to slide on the ice with my shoes is going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
But Sheik didn't really know. He was like, maybe I'll have my grip, maybe I won't. So thankfully there was a little bit of carpet where they put the ring on.
Mm-hmm.
So when they whipped me across the ice, I was able to get a couple steps, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. And I just kind of let myself slide. So it was actually a lot of fun. It was when we were originally thinking about when I was thinking about the match, like I wasn't really envisioning like doing anything really much outside of the ring. But when we got outside of the ring, it was a lot of fun.
So how much time actually?
And cold.
Yeah, how did it go outside of the ring? Because what is it with you and Colt, by the way? That match you had with MRB at PWA where you guys fought outside, and now you're just like sliding on the ice. You're just like the king of cold style, apparently, really.
So, twice we were outside. One time, she got out of the ring and I dove on him.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, as we land, all you hear is, "Oh, that's cold." and then, funny enough, Sheik wanted to do some spots outside of the ring. And I'm like, if you're up for it, I'll do it. I'm fairly easy to work with in that aspect.
The ice
so
is
like,
very.
We'll do this outside the ring. I'm like, all right then, if you're up for it.
Did anybody have to take a bump on the ice? Because that would have hurt.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, God. Yeah,
she took a bump on the ice.
No give on the ice. If you think a bad ring has no give, you should try ice. That's really bad. So I'll give Sheik one of these. So congratulations to him. Congratulations not taking a bump on the ice, by the way.
Yeah, kind of surprising. Now that I think back, I'm like, wait, how did I not? I mean, like, I did slide into the boards and fall down, but like I didn't, and I did the dive, but it's like I didn't like have to actually bump.
Right. You didn't have to take a back bump like right onto the ice. Unless, did anybody slide out? Did anybody, like I said, I didn't get to see, did anybody just wipe out from below them and just take a spill on the ice?
So, okay. My match is over. You know, I'm cheering with the crowd, celebrating my victory, and I'm getting out of the ring, and out of the corner of my eye, I see Sheik slip and fall on the ice. And I go into the back, and I'm like, man, that is so funny that he purposely did that. And he comes back, and I'm like, and he starts saying, it's like, oh man, I hurt myself. Like, what do you mean you hurt yourself? It's like, when I fell on ice. I'm like, oh wait, that wasn't on purpose? He actually, because of how his shoes are, he literally had no grip on the ice and just pretty much face planted on the ice.
Oh man!
Right after the match.
Oh, I wish that was caught on camera. Was this episode? Was it taped or was it filmed? Do you know?
I know we had our camera guy there, and I'm fairly certain the Hitman, of course, had a cameraman because they were recording it onto the Jumbotron.
Right.
I don't have access to it. I don't know what they're going to do with it. It'd be cool if they posted it, in my opinion, but I will see. I'm going to see if I can get I'm going to see if I can get the copy of it. Make a little highlight video. Would be cool.
Yeah, let us know. I'd love to see it, man. Because like I said, I didn't get to go, unfortunately. I feel so bad now. Like, I feel like I came ill-prepared for this. Because I'm like, well, it happened during the match. All right, next question here. From Quest for Jewels. Mount Rushmore of people you want to wrestle in Canada. Ooh.
Canada. Oh, man, I got to remember who's Canadian.
Right. Me.
I'm,
yeah, you kick my ass.
Heavy metal.
Right.
There's gonna be people I haven't wrestled. I should probably say that.
Right.
Or maybe I should do both.
I mean, up to you. They're the Mount Rushmore of people you want to wrestle in Canada. I mean, that's really, you could wrestle them before you could wrestle them again. Why not?
That's true. So yeah, we'll go heavy metal and Michael, because like I wrestled Michael once. It was fun. I did a bunch of tag matches against him too, which were a lot of fun.
Or is it that PWA show where you guys went outside? Is that the one that you had against Michael?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that one.
Heavy metal, of course. If we're gonna talk bigger stars, like Chris Jericho, and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Two. I think they're they're two different far generations of wrestling that I think would be really interesting to wrestle with.
Who do you think you would do better in the ring with, Kenny or Jericho?
See, that's a tough one.
Because they're completely different styles, like you said. I mean, Jericho is very robust. He could do tons of different styles. Kenny is definitely a very fast-paced, very, technical shit match. Like, and Jericho, I mean, you could just beat the shit out of each other. Yeah?
Probably Jericho.
I think I would love to see that. I think I speak for everybody when I was just like, I would love to see the people here wrestling some of those big names, especially in AEW. When they come to Canada, I'm going to do everything in my power to send videos to AEW of all of my friends that are good talents to try to book them on the shows. Be like, look who's here. Book these guys for your dark episodes and stuff. I'm going to try my...
It'd be interesting to see them do like a Canada tour.
I guarantee AEW is going to do it. It's going to happen. I don't even know if it's going to be a tour necessarily, but they're eventually going to run a show in Calgary. And when that time comes, like I said, I'm going to do everything in my power to send tapes of all my friends and all of the great wrestlers around here to them to be like, book some of these guys, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best.
Cool.
That's my promise to you. All right, next quick question here. That was thank you for the sub, Mr. Levy. Thank you so much for that. You good, amazing people. Thank you so much for that. All right, next quick question here from question. Ooh, this is a good one. What do I have to do to wrestle you? How do we get the match? Quest for Rick Jules versus the Thickness.
I don't know. It's not like a great answer, but
I know a guy who books matches, and I think of a way to do it.
I'm sure he knows a guy who books matches, and I know a couple guys who book matches.
There you go. I'm sure it could happen.
I guess the question is, Jules, do you want it to be a hardcore match or not?
That's true. You guys have talked about wanting to have that hardcore match. I would like to see that. Thickness as the face versus Patriarch version of Rick Jules. I think that could be a really good feud, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, I do like this. I like this a lot. But oh my God, there's a couple of other questions, but people weren't using the actual question thing, so I got to go back and see what they were saying. People. Oh, a possible tag team. Oh, I like this from the Omen fan. It's not a question, but possible tag team name for Colton Kelly and Reid Matthews, the Cutthroat Thickness. So he's going through his Cutthroat Colton Kelly now. Is that what he's going by?
Yes, I believe so.
I don't remember hearing that one. Is that something relatively new, or am I just really dumb?
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
no,
it is.
Relative.
Okay.
I want to say like he started working a couple months ago. I might be wrong. He probably worked a little longer than that, but that's something new he's been doing.
Okay, good. I thought for a second there that I'm like, I thought I knew things, but apparently I didn't. But apparently I do, so I'm glad to know that I was indeed new. Jules saying hardcore for life. What kind of match would you imagine this? It was a kind of hardcore, but like we doing like a death match? We putting you guys in a cage? Is this a Lego match? Because everybody wants to take those Lego bumps.
I haven't done a cage match, so I think a cage match would be really good.
A cage match, yeah? Would you go when it was like get out of the cage, or it's like you're finishing it like Hell in the Cell style?
Oh no, finish Hell in the Cell style.
Yeah. They don't really do the climb out of the cage. When was the last time you actually saw like a climb out of the cage win? Like great, or was that like Jinder?
This years ago. I'm not even thinking WWE. I'm just thinking like, because I know PWA has a cage.
Right.
I want to say Giselle Shaw and Kat Von Hees did a match with who had to get out of the cage. Yes. Oh, Brandy was the referee. Yes. Yep. Brandy Rhodes was the guest referee.
Oh wow, really? That was that's pretty awesome.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I
remember because I think it was Brandon Van Danielson and Michael Richard Blaze against Brett Morgan. Because I remember that's when Michael did like the 630 off the top of the cage.
Oh, that was that match, eh?
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I think for me,
I think it was a Christmas Slam.
Yeah, Punjabi Prison was the last one I saw anybody climb out of a cage on. And that was like,
oh, okay.
I don't even remember how long ago that was. Another quick question here from questions. What's your dream wrestling entrance? I don't know exactly what he means by that, but what's your dream wrestling entrance?
Dream wrestling entrance. Yeah, I think I've always wanted Pyro. I think Pyro would be really cool to have.
Right.
Funny enough, whenever I'm listening to like new songs and whatnot, my first thought is I have two thoughts. I'm like, one, could this be used in an anime music video? And B, could it be used as a wrestling entrance? So like, there's a couple songs I'm like, oh, maybe I'll change my entrance music to this one.
Are you still using Unstoppable by Motionless in
yes.
White? Yeah, what a good song, by the way.
It is. Funny enough, I remember before I debuted with PWA, I had this song picked. I had the album this song was on, and I loved this song. I'm like, this is my entrance song. I love this song. And literally the NXT takeover before I debuted, it was the theme song for that. And I'm like, now it's gonna look like I chose it for that reason.
What song was it?
It was Unstoppable.
Oh, it was that. Okay, I thought you meant.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that you said on an NXT.
Takeover's theme song for that takeover was that song.
I don't even remember that. I was such a big into takeovers at that time.
This was 2015.
Well, I mean, I think of your theme song as just like when I hear it, I think of you. I don't think of other people. I guess in the Alberta scene, you've completely taken that song for yourself. So, congratulations. NXT's got nothing on you at this one.
Yeah. What's up?
What it is. All right. Yeah. No. PWA Night of Champions 15. Man, see, we got some people here in chat. They know their things. But so at this very moment, you don't have any other planned matches right now. We're just kind of waiting. You're going to be streaming once a week. You said, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. What day are you streaming and what time? Just so everybody hears it.
Sundays at 5 p.m. Mountain Time.
Nice. Perfect. All right. I got to start catching more of those. I'm always seems to be never there. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
I'll get there again.
You have a personal life going on. I understand. I
have a little person I got to keep alive, and she's at that point where she's like demands attention all the time now. I do love that. But dude, thank you again for chatting with me here tonight. It was super smooth, nice, easy chat for 45 minutes. I always love chatting with you. It's super great.
Yeah, it was great talking with you, buddy.
Before I do, was there anything else we missed chatting about that you want to chat about here today? Floor is open.
You talking to me or chat?
You.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I want to talk about. We talked about the dome. I guess just check me out on all my social medias. You got my wrestling ones, which is the Thickness 7, and you got all my streaming ones, which is Thick Gaming 7.
There you go, dude. Thank you again.
And I'll even let you in on this too. I am working on some new merch for wrestling.
Yeah, you can tell us what it is.
Yep.
Is it another like a shirt?
No, it'll be a shirt. It'll be a shirt.
It'll be a shirt. Okay. What color is gonna be? What's on the shirt? Tell us more. I'm gonna keep asking.
I got teased a little bit, right?
All right, guys. New gear is on its way. Are we still able to get those thick as fuck shirts somewhere? Because I don't have one of those yet. I still need one of those.
So okay. So this is one of those things. At the time, I was looking to try and get some shirts made, but it was really expensive to get it made anywhere. Mm-hmm. So actually, that shirt was actually made by Tisha, because we were like trying to play around and make the shirts ourselves.
Right.
So it's one of a kind, but I definitely want to try and remake it and sell it. But I haven't had a non-family friendly show to sell it at.
There you go. I guess you've been you tend to work more of the family friendly shows based on stuff. You did the one RCW show during the pandemic, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It was another win for you. You do a lot of winning during the pandemic, that was for sure. All right, dude. Thank you again for joining me here tonight. Once again, you guys go follow The Thickness at The Thickness 7 or Thick Gaming. Guys, go check him out on Twitch. It is just Thick Gaming 7 on Twitch as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying to remember everything. I can't remember all my links and stuff, but yeah. So we'll see him Fridays at 5 p.m. Obviously, once again, what did I say? Fridays? Sundays at 5 p.m. I don't know. It's been a long day, but yeah. Once again, thank you again, man. Much love to you.
Not a problem, buddy. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Talk to you later. A big thank you once again to The Thickness for joining me here today. It's always so much fun to have Reid on and talk with him. He's such a great guy, and I always love our chats. Like I said, this was the second time we've got to have an interview. First time we ever did it was right over there. Only time I ever had a live interview, but we got to do this one here over the internet today. Obviously, COVID was still a thing when this interview was recorded. It's still obviously a thing, but I mean, like it was a couple of months ago. But anyways, big thank you to him. Thank you to you for listening. Don't forget to tune in. Subscribe, like, whatever you want to do. I am tired. I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. See you tonight at 8 p.m. if you guys are watching this on May 10th, for our interview with Ava Lawless. On May 17th, we will be interviewing one cutthroat Colton Kelly. And then again on the 24th of the month, we will be interviewing TJ Cannon. So that's going to be really fun. So thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.